Christmas.
I
We
know.
have someone beautiful and special in studio. I wish y'all could see her smile.
No, first
Hey.
of all, she exudes of what is the word? What is
Class,
the word?
elegance,
Class,
beauty,
elegance.
confidence.
Exactly. Like when you look at her,
Strength.
it's like,
What else?
Oh, you ladies.
well, anyway, a few months ago, I don't know if you remember, but a few months ago, I hosted a lady called Livia on the show, and it was I think it was a Wednesday as well, and she's from the Uganda Support Office. So in studio today is somebody that she works with, that Livia works with, and not Livia today, but that's okay. In studio with us is Kristin from the Uganda Support Office. I need you to know that this is one of the offices in Uganda that has, first of all, you're a team of only ladies.
It's fine, yeah.
It is a team of only ladies.
Yeah.
The ladies all look like...
Let me tell you something. Somebody once said that
Yeah.
if you gave an example of
Yeah.
all the women in that department, this country to run, all our
My
problems
God,
would be
all
solved.
of them like this.
Oh, you ladies, you're very kind.
You're welcome to the show, Kristin.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's such a privilege to be here.
It's a privilege to have you. So, we'd like to know who you are. So, who are you? Tell us about you.
Wow. My name is Kristin Kogonza Nahabwe. Married to one amazing
Oh my
man.
God! I was
My
waiting
man
for
of
that
valor.
part. I was waiting for that part because Kristin really,
Yes, he's my man of valor. He's called Gideon. I just love him so much. We're blessed with one amazing son so far.
Yeah.
And we're just excited about life and doing life together. So, that is me.
That is you.
Yes.
Okay, so I know that Uganda Support Office works very closely with Watoto children, Watoto child care,
That's true.
and you really support the work that they do.
That's true.
In short, that is what Uganda Support Office does. What do you do specifically with them?
Oh, with them. I'm privileged to serve as the sponsorship coordinator.
Nice.
With the office. And just, maybe just like you said, as an obvious, really what we do is tell the Watoto story, share with whoever we come across, what we do as Watoto, what God is doing through community care, reaching out to the vulnerable child, the vulnerable woman, the orphan child, baby Watoto. And that's what we really do. And then in addition to that as well, we raise support. It could be financial, it could be in kind, it could be skilling, whichever way it is, but have strategies on how we can bring individuals to support the work that we do as Watoto. And then also we do our best to steward these relationships with our partners and sponsors, just to make sure that even as they give, in whichever way they're able to, we are also able to support them in whichever way, add value to each other, not just take, but it's a win-win for all of us. So we steward those relationships as well.
Nice. I like that. Steward those relationships. Some of you just think, excuse me, that your resources are money, but people need to be.
Yes.
Actually, I think I'm constantly amazed at the work, and even when Livia was here, I said this, at the work, Watoto child care, but also just everyone that works with the children in the Watoto villages, the work you do. Why? Because these children do not just get homes. They literally get a wholesome life.
That's true.
They are mentored, they are discipled, they are taught, they are provided for them. So it's hard to find one who is just do you understand what I mean? So it's very good the work you do.
Thank you.
All right, so okay. Does someone have a question?
Oh, not yet, but
All right.
we'll be.
So in case you have a question for Kristin in regards to Watoto child care, if there's something you don't understand, listen, this is your opportunity. But also I'd like us to remember that there's a thing that you can be involved in, and that is giving a gift to our Watoto child.
Yes.
It is financial this year. I know. Yes. Why is it financial this year?
Well, just like you said, Christmas is here, and we celebrate Christmas because it's the time when we remember how, Christ was given to us, as his children to, gave his life, rescued us from death, and hallelujah, we have abundant life. And that is what we really celebrate. And this time around, just like you said, as Watoto, we have a traditional culture. It's about generosity, especially around this time around. And previously, we've been doing our Christmas giving to our children through different cell groups. where we'd at least attach maybe 2 or 3 children to a particular cell.
Yeah.
But because of a few things this year, we said, you know what, let's go monitoring, you know. And just like you said, why? Maybe just a few I can highlight is, well, one, we noticed that one, we live in an era of a, pandemic.
Yes.
And right now, Christmas time, downtown or wherever people, want to get gifts, it's crowded and stuff. So I'm thinking to take that pressure off, our individuals, let's just, do a monetary something, and then we shall find time to, go and get a gift for a child. And then also it is I would say, for example, you're given a name of a child who is 17 or 20 or whichever, you have no idea what their preferences are, who they are, and you're thinking, what kind of gift can I get for this particular person, that they would love and appreciate. So we also want to take that pressure off. But then we've also noticed that sometimes transportation to the village is also a bit, because we have 3 children's villages. There's Gulu, there's Lamine, there's Bira, there's Subi. Then you have to know which gift is going where. Some children have the same names, so it's a bit of all that. Then sometimes gifts come in late, and then getting them to the village. So like, you know what?
Coming in January.
Thank you. And Christmas is already gone. And then sometimes, well, because of one thing or the other, some kids maybe are not able to get gifts, are not blessed to have a gift. So some feel a bit left out and all that. So we're like, you know what? Let's do something, uniform. Just let people send in a monetary gift to get to pool that money. And then we can go and get for each individual child something, for Christmas. So that's what's happening this year.
That makes sense, especially in a time of the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
And after she's highlighted all this, I can think about all the times gifts were like, there's so many gifts, and imagine gifts are going to Bulu. Hey,
I tell you, people who want their gifts delivered specific.
And then you don't know which one is perishable, and you know what I mean? Something gets cracked up there. You're like, it makes sense for you to actually go that way this year.
But also, I remember being part of a sale sometime, and I don't think, full disclosure, I don't think we prioritized gifting. So I think also was one of those that sent gifts in
January. Cover your head.
I am covering my face in shame. But yes, I think sometimes it's just the whole gifting. Then you have to choose who of you is going to go downtown and look for the gift.
Yes.
So honestly, the monetary bit is wisdom.
Takes the pressure off.
We're going to get into a short break, and when we get back, it's easy for us to talk. And gifting children but not really understand what the vision of.
Actually, now you can actually share with us what exactly Watoto is about community care. Just cast the vision so we can understand it better.
Watoto is a church, and we as a church, we're passionate about celebrating Christ, but as well caring for our community. It's not about just coming and doing church, but, being the hope in the community where we live. And, just like the Bible reminds us, Christ really, reminds us of compassion, and he reminds us of how true religion is actually taking care of the needy people in our community. So as a ministry, we do our best to look at, our founders came a long time ago, 1986, and there was a need in our community then. It was orphan children, because of the pandemic then, which was HIV/AIDS. And he felt God was pushing him to that direction, take care of these children. And, excuse me. When I was beginning the Watoto homes, the idea was not really having an orphanage of sorts, because Gary tells us that what God had put on his heart is, how do we raise these children and build this nation by raising them to become the next leaders of this country. And sometimes, not to put, to talk down on orphanages, but a complete home, if you want to raise a leader, a complete full leader, there are things that the mate find better in a home, things like identity, things like discipline and correction, so having a mother, who does this for them, where there's correction, the mother will let them know. They have, brothers and sisters that, they do life together with. That helps build a whole person, holistic care. There's discipleship, there's all that. So that is where that whole idea of a home setting comes in. And then talking about children, but then later Marilyn also tells us how God, tells her, care for my ladies, and just like we know, single families I want to raise lately, especially the women, you know. And you find that a number of these women actually are vulnerable. Some either have dropped out of school or not gone to school at all. So finding an income and raising their children becomes a bit hard, especially if they're abandoned and rejected. And yet they have kids to take care of, you know. So as a minister, we also said, how can we come in to support? And I think earlier, I think this week or last week, we had the neighborhood team here also sharing about that. Yes, but it's very amazing to see what God is doing in these women's lives, you know. Some come on, they are devastated, some have gone through traumatic stuff, rejected, but when they come in, they find hope here. You know, there's discipleship for them, there's skills training, there's adult literacy for some of them. At least, you know, as a mother, I'm a mother, and it's always nice when sometimes, you know, they give homework to these kids and they tell, let me make sure your mommy signs, you know, against your homework. And I think it's always nice when these ladies can at least put something on their children's homework, or maybe if they're in a bank or public space, they can write their name or something like that. So we are out for the children and the lady. How do we support them? How do we make sure that we're actually rebuilding this nation that God has given to us? So in a nutshell, that's what I can say about our community care.
Sounds like a lot, eh?
Oh yeah. And I'm actually very grateful to God for the different partners and sponsors that have come on board, you know, to support the work that we do, and we don't take that for granted, you know. So for any partners or sponsors listening in, thank you so much for the work that you do. You're making a big difference in this country.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And I think it's important that you said it's not enough to just care for community while giving them the needs and all of that. It's important for us to identify, okay, how effective will they be if we just give them, let's say, food for tomorrow, versus giving them capital to start a business, giving them giving them skills. And I think that's what I really appreciate about Watoto community care.
I also think from what you just said, it's brilliant that you're not just you said holistic, so you're addressing the pain that they've dealt with.
That's true.
What's the point of giving me skills, but you do not take care of the thing that had me, that would keep me bitter, and you know, on and on and on. So it's quite brilliant.
It is quite brilliant. Interesting. Okay, so on to the Uganda Support Office. We mentioned earlier that you support really activities, so to say. No, but you support Watoto community care.
Yes.
What exactly do you do? Do you
Uganda Support Office?
Okay.
What do you have?
So as an office, I would say we have two arms really. We have a sponsorship arm, and then we have a partnership and development. So just like I mentioned, that one of the things that we do, or our mandate, is raising support. So we have all these strategies to see how do we get people on board to support the work that we do. So through sponsorship, we have campaigns that are running. Currently, we have the Each One Reach One, and we're encouraging all people who are already on board, who are sponsoring with us, who are partnering with us. One, we're saying thank you to them, for their support. But then we're also letting them know, could you, take an extra step to reach out in your circles, in your networks of influence. It could be family members, it could be your friends or the places of work, and just share, what God is doing through Watoto, and just interest someone to come and partner with us as well. So that is happening as well. So through sponsorship, we do that, and then through partnerships, we have noticed that there's a lot of potential in Uganda, and people want to partner with amazing things, with stuff that is happening. And we thank God that He has opened up doors with different corporate companies that are coming on board to actually support the work that we do. Some are doing sponsorship with us already. Some are doing just one-time big donations with us already. Some are doing CSR, their CSRs with us. Some have been able to give gifts in kind. I think last year or the other year, one of our partners, Kristin, gave us 100 baby, beds for baby Watoto. We've had NCBA Bank, that has been on our village. Some of their staff members are sponsors. They came and did that. So it's amazing things that God is doing. So we do our best to get into those spaces as well, and interest these companies and say, hey, you know what? Maybe you can come and do your CSR with us, or could you provide internship spaces for our children, to come and do internship with you guys, and maybe in the long run, even provide employment, after their internship, and if they're qualified different skills,
Yeah.
they can take them on.
Yeah.
So they can come and visit. We encourage corporate fundraising dinners and things that that can bring support
The
to
resources that you actually
that we
need
need
people
in the
wise.
ministry. So
Yeah.
that's what we are doing.
Amazing. Remember to grab an ice cold bottle of Pepsi Max, 330 mils or 500 today. Check under the cap and win sodas, t-shirts.
Cell groups or individuals or even families like the Nahawe family, the Kayonga family.
Yeah.
You can say, let's do this, as friends, as as an organization, wherever you guys work. So we are calling upon anyone to come and give a Christmas gift. 30K is what we've labeled the gift to be worth 30,000. You're welcome to to offer
More.
30K or even more. Yeah, so you can give a Christmas gift for 1, 2, 3, 4 more children, whichever you can manage. But then also, excuse me, just like we said, Christmas is celebration. And it's always nice to do it with family, and I know in Uganda, and I think also globally, Christmas is a time when families come together and we do things together, just celebrate together. So even in our villages, we want to do the same kind of thing for our children, How about they celebrate Christmas that way? So we are also inviting anyone who is interested with a generous gift of just 90,000 shillings. You can bless a family, one of our homes in the villages, to enjoy Christmas. 90K will help us really buy, have some special lunch, special food for the day, have some refreshments, maybe even have a cake,
Yeah.
I know some families these days, for those who can afford, we have Christmas cake. And so we want to do the same for our children as well. And we don't want to limit anyone. Feel free. If you can do a Christmas gift for a family, and then you can also do a gift as well,
Please, don't
Please
hold
do.
back.
Don't
Pour in your resources.
Yes. And maybe to add on to that as well, we have the Worship Academy, the Watoto Worship Academy.
Yeah.
So we're adding that to it as well. So these are our Watoto young adults who have a passion for music, and there's a band, which they play. And I think you've seen some of them, play at the different districts.
Yes.
For some of you have been privileged to see them perform at different events. They do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we are opening that as well between the 13th of December to the 22nd of December.
That's Monday next week.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are opening up these slots in case you have an event. It could be a corporate event, maybe end of year party or a Christmas party, or maybe a birthday party or something that you would want them to be part of. We are saying you're welcome to invite them. So just let us know in advance, at least 2 weeks in advance, in that they can prepare and know, where they can be.
That is so cool.
Yes.
That is so
I'm
cool.
excited about that because,
Yeah.
hey, Kalangu, it's here. If you need a band, if you need a band to sing beautiful music, godly music,
Oh, yes.
that will bless you, the Worship Academy band
And let me
is
tell you,
available.
they sing well.
They do. They sing well. They play well.
They're awesome.
They
And
are.
then the backstory is also beautiful. So you'll be giving to something that's actually truly special and true.
That's
You know?
true. And maybe dress. Sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. Please. Go
I
on.
just, as you kept talking, another dropped in my mind. Of there could be someone out there who is saying, what, Kristin, you're talking about all this monetary stuff, but maybe I'm not able to give monetary, but I have a gift in kind.
Yes.
It could be clothing, it could be maybe scholastic materials or food, or medical supplies or home
Yes.
care.
Yes.
How can I still be part of this? And we're saying, feel free to be part
Yes.
of this. So if you would like to do gifts in kind, that is also available for you to do. And maybe there could be someone who is saying, but 90K is a lot, 30K, things are tight, So if I have a 5K or a 10K, can't I still give towards Christmas for our children?
It's welcome.
One thing we've noticed as Watoto is, even what you think little, it is much when God is in it, It reminds me of the story of the 5,000, where these guys are saying, send these guys away, we don't have food to feed them. And Christ is saying, what do you have? 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And God did amazing. At the end of it, it was even more than enough, to feed them. So what we are saying is that if whatever gift you have, we don't want to limit, we're taking limits of, you're welcome to send it through.
Absolutely. Somebody here is saying, and this is good news, is saying